What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Well, it's February already, so it's time for another pickups video. So, this is all the video games that I got in January of 2019. Now, as far as pickup videos go, I love watching other people's videos. You know, I love when people are showing games and I'm like, damn, what's that? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And it kind of gives you insight as to some other games that you might want to start buying or looking for, or looking out for, or whatever. So we're going to start with the Xbox 360. So I kind of went Xbox 360 crazy this month. I've had some games for that system for a few years, just like Tales of Vesperia, a couple shooters that were released here in the United States, but other than that, I didn't have anything else. And I got an Xbox 360 now, so anyway, these are some games that I picked up at one of my local game stores to just try out on the system. You know, I kind of wanted to get into some RPGs on the Xbox 360 and some other games, so first game we have 99 Nights. I played this for a little while. It's like a hack and slash kind of game. It seemed like a kind of like a mindless hack and slash game, kind of like Oni Chinabara, if you know what I'm talking about, on the PS4 or Xbox 360 or Xbox One. But yeah, 99 Nights. Yeah, decent game. It was cheap enough. Like, 12 bucks. Yeah, it's alright for 12. Anyway, so I haven't played this game yet. I got this at, it was Elite Pro. $2.40 or $2.39. I mean, I heard this was a good game. Haven't played it yet. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments. You know, should I be playing this game? I know it's not a shoot 'em up, and I typically go for the shoot 'em ups, but you know, I've got Sylphied on like the Sega CD, and I have it on the PS2. The Working Designs released on the PS2. You know, I know it's not that type of game either, but it looked interesting and it was cheap enough, so I grabbed it. And this next game, I played this for a little while, and I really wasn't getting that into it, but I heard from some people that it's a really fun game, and that's Fairy Tale Fights. You know, just the mature rating, and I looked at the back of the case. You know, I don't really go online a lot to look for video games to play. Like, I'll look at a game in a game store and look at the case art and look at the pictures on the back of the case and try it out that way. And if I don't like it, I just sell it or give it away. And if I do like it, it goes with all the other games. Again, another game I haven't played yet, but Bullet Witch. I heard this was a good game. I guess it's kind of like a third-person shooter. I haven't played it yet. I heard it's decent, but it was pretty cheap, so I grabbed it. And this next game, I actually paid $10 for this. It's Samurai Showdown Sen. I don't know which version of Samurai Showdown this is, but it's still new. I haven't even opened it yet. I'll get around to playing it one day. But again, it was just a game I grabbed because I'm trying to get into the Xbox 360 and play games that aren't just shooters. So this is one of the games that I grabbed. Okay, now these next few games, and I think this is most of the games, I met up with another YouTuber. You know, check out his channel, Dat Game Collector. He's like kind of semi-local to me, and we just met up one Saturday and drove around to some game stores in my area, and these are some of the games that I grabbed when I was out with him. This first one he recommended to me, like, cheap, $4. I haven't even played this yet. I guess it's called Too Human. He said it's like an Xbox exclusive. He said it was really good. And he was like, dude, it's $4. I was like, all right, I'll take your word for it. So I grabbed this, you know. Yeah, I'll get around to trying it. He praised this game. So, you know, hopefully it's pretty good. And hopefully I'll do a video telling you guys how good this game is. But yeah, Too Human, I got that. Another RPG that I haven't played this. See, I haven't played most of these games. You know, it sucks. I haven't played most of these games. I'm just showing you the games and the kind of stuff that I'm getting into or starting to get into in 2019. But this one, Infinite Undiscovery, I heard this was a great RPG. I heard it starts off action-packed and it doesn't like the story doesn't make you fall asleep, you know, pretty much. But you know, it was like $9. Heard it's a killer RPG, so for $9, I'm willing to spend that, obviously. Same thing, I heard this was really good. This was, you know, cheap, you know, $10. Didn't save the receipt for some reason, but didn't come with a manual. I mean, I'd rather have the manual, but whatever. If I find one day, I'll grab it. And 99 Nights too. Again, I got this when I was out with a fellow YouTuber, and he said this was good. And I bought the first one, so I figured, you know, why not? And it was made by Konami, so you know, again, the first one kind of seemed like a mindless hack and slash. Again, I only played it for a few hours. But yeah, look at that cover art too. I mean, you got to give it to them. That cover art looks pretty cool. I look at that kind of thing. Like if cover art's good, I take notice. So now these next two games. Now I've been really getting into the shooters on the Xbox 360, the shoot 'em ups. There's some. I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. There's some of the best shooters I've ever played in my life, honestly. If I'm going to be completely honest, the cave shooters on the Xbox 360 are some of the best shooters I've ever played in my life. They're really good. I'm really addicted to them. So this first one, not a cave shooter, but Ginger Force. This is $50. You know, just shoot them up. It's kind of like I would say this is kind of like Sylphid, if I'm going to be honest. Just kind of like in a modern age, like Sylphid and kind of like Galactic. It's kind of it's like I said, it's kind of like Sylphid a little bit, the graphics. So or like some of the PS2 era shoot 'em ups. It'll kind of remind you of that. And this next game, okay, so oh my goodness, this is the best shooter I have played in a very, very long time. You know, in the past, you know, shooters on the Genesis, on the Saturn, on the PC Engine have been some of my favorite shooters that I've ever played in my life. Okay, this game almost trumps all of that. And Dodonpachi Resurrection, it's so good. It is so good, and it's not even that expensive. It's like a $50 game. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. This one came with like a soundtrack. I think I did a review on this. I should have a video on this if you want to check it out. Like, man, this is a serious shooter. Like, my goodness. So I don't even have all the shooters on the Xbox 360 yet. Like, yeah, I got all the US release ones. Like, I've been had them, but I want to get all the Japanese ones. And I've been starting. I got some coming in that are that should be pretty good. So I'll show you guys them soon. But anyway, I got these at MagFest. You know, Video Games New York was there, and I got these from Video Games New York. And you know, I had a blast. I met up with a guy I met on Instagram. I took my stepson with me. I hung out at the arcade when I was at MagFest. I had a lot of fun, and I grabbed some awesome video games. And it was awesome, you know, at MagFest. It was awesome playing the shooters in the arcade section with like random people that I'd never met before, and sitting down at a cabinet and like finishing Battle Garega with some guy, and then just like me and him like fist bumping, like, all right, man, have a good day. Like, that was the shit. I had so much fun there, and I can't wait to do it again. So yeah, okay, so that was the Xbox 360. So let's move on to something else. So this is just a mix of random games, maybe 1 or 2 games per system, you know, stuff like that. So I guess we'll start it off with, and I recently talked about this game on a video, Super Advanced Variable VG, Super VG, Advanced VG. It's a 2D fighter, all-female cast. If you're familiar with games like Arcana Heart or SNK Heroines, this is kind of before all that. I think there was like a SNK all-female fighting game on like the Neo Geo Pocket. But this is kind of in line with all of that. It's got a crazy story. You know, it's a Japanese game, so I'm sure you can imagine. But it's pretty fun, and it's cheap. If you like 2D fighters, you see it, pick it up. These next 3 games are PlayStation Vita games. They were I got all 3 for $20. It was like a buy 2, get 1 free or whatever kind of promotion. I got an Elite Pro card, so I got these 3 games right here. So and they're not normally games that I would typically play. It just seemed like a good deal because it's kind of harder to find Vita stuff. And Vita, so I'll have games for other systems and I'll sell some games off. You know, systems like the PSP and the Vita, I don't ever sell, unless I have doubles. If you look on my eBay, you might see some doubles of some Vita games. That's another thing, guys. I got some pretty cool games listed on eBay. I'll leave a link down at the bottom or something in the comment section or in the description or in the bio. I'll leave one of my eBay links. But I got some pretty cool stuff on there if there's anything you're looking for. My prices are good, so yeah, check out my eBay. But these were $20. So Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. It looks like there's 2 games on there. Rayman Origins and Wipeout 2048. I remember the very first Wipeout game I played was on a PlayStation 1 demo disc out of PS1, and back then you just played the hell out of those demo disc games because you didn't have the money for the real version. But you know, I just thought of that when I saw this, so I picked it up. Like I said, it was $20 for all 3, so pretty good deal. This next game was purchased at another local retro game store. disc only. So it's disc only, but it's cool because it's a PSP game. I will buy them disc only, even though you could download the damn files and play them on a modded PSP, or an emulator. But anyway, Steambot Chronicles Battle Tournament. I played it. It's a little bit of fun. It's like Misadventures of Tron Bonne-ish kinda, but it's all right. $13 for a disc is kind of expensive, but I don't normally see this, so figure I'd grab it. So yeah, Steambot Chronicles. I actually got this game the other day. I think this was the last game that I got in January of 2019, and it is a virtual on clone. So it's a robot fighting game. It's pretty fun. It's no virtual on, that's for sure, but it is Real Robots Final Attack. It's got some pretty cool cover art, and when I got this, it was actually new. It was sealed. I just opened it the other day. It's pretty cool. I love these Japanese PS1, the early cases, the thick ones. It say PlayStation on the top right here on the plastic. These are also the cases I believe they use in PAL region PlayStation 1 games, but I love these cases, man. They're kind of fragile, they kind of break easily, but they look really, really nice, and they got manuals in there. There's actually a manual, and then there's a cover art insert, so it's pretty interesting. So yeah, Real Robots Final Attack. It's a virtual on clone. Pretty cool game, and it was cheap as hell too. So, and it was new, so can't go wrong with all those things going to work there. Anyway, the only Dreamcast game, and I don't know why I said the only Dreamcast game. I don't normally buy Dreamcast games because I don't normally find Dreamcast games. When I do, I buy them, and I found this. It was 25, maybe it was 35. I forget what I paid for this. But anyway, Capcom versus SNK. I like the fighters. I love Street Fighter 3 Third Strike on the Sega Dreamcast, and if I see fighting games for that system, I definitely grab them. You know, they did a lot of arcade ports on the Dreamcast, and a lot of them were done really well. It really reminded me of, the Dreamcast reminded me of the Sega Saturn that was over in Japan. You know, all the arcade stuff that they had going on over there. So we got a little taste of that over here in the United States, and this is one of those games. So Capcom versus SNK. If you can't find this, another game you might want to look for is Capcom versus SNK on the PlayStation 2. And I'm sure that game in particular was probably ported to many systems, so yeah. Anyway, you know, it's decently priced too for a fighting game on the Dreamcast. Okay, now let's move on to the DS. So I'd never heard of this game. It's a platformer. It's not great. It's okay. The Legend of Cage 2. I don't even have the Legend of Cage 1. Now on the back cover art here, you can see this picture of this dragon. Now, it looks like this game, it looks like it uses the dual screens on the DS in very interesting ways. At least that's what I would think looking at the cover of this game and the screenshots in the back and the thumbnails and stuff. But I only played this game for about 20 minutes, and I kind of was like, this game's okay for a platform. When you jump like really high, and it's kind of like all the features in the game are kind of exaggerated in that sense. But I don't think I gave this game enough time. It's probably pretty good. It was cheap enough. It was like $10 or $12 or something. And it's complete with like its manual, and yeah, it's cool when they're complete, right? But yeah, I'm gonna give this game another shot. It just looked interesting. It looked like the kind of game that I would like. I like platform, like shooters and stuff like that, and action games. Now this next game, this is one of the best DS games I've played in a long time. Now there's not a whole. I use DS for like RPGs. I don't really buy a lot of like shooters or like action heavy. Not that there's a lot of shooters on the DS, but there is Ketsu's on the DS. You know, you're gonna pay for it. But anyway, this is about this game, and this game is Contra 4. Yeah, it's card only, but man, this game is awesome. Like, man, this is like the best Contra game I've played since Contra 3. Like seriously, this game is better than Contra 3 in my opinion. I'm not gonna say better. It's just as good as Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo. And Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo is probably Alien Wars. It's probably one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. You should look for that if you guys haven't played that. Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo. It's cheap. It might be like $30 or something, but it's worth it. It's a good game. But yeah, Contra 4 on the DS, awesome. It uses the dual screens in the best way you could imagine. Really fun game. I can't recommend it enough. Okay, I got two good ones right here. I'll save those for last of this little group right here. This is another cheap game. I haven't played it yet. It just looked like the kind of game I would want to play. Soul Calibur Legends. It seemed like a beat 'em up. They kind of moved away from the fighting game mechanic in or whatever the fighting game genre in this game and moved on to something else. The guy at the game store I bought this from said it's not really that good, but I'll try it out eventually. I just haven't got to it yet. So Soul Calibur Legends on the Wii, the Nintendo Wii. And on the PlayStation 2, I got one game. It's an RPG, and when I find RPGs on the PlayStation 2, I always buy them, even if they're not any good, because, you know, you guys might see me talking about shooters on my channel a lot, shoot 'em ups, and I'm really passionate about that genre of games. But a genre of game that you don't really see me talk a lot about, I do a little bit here and there, but I probably play more RPGs than any type of video game, honestly. You know, action RPGs, turn-based RPGs, strategy RPGs. I prefer old school, traditional, turn-based. And then I like the action RPGs, and then strategy RPGs are okay if they're done really well. If the RPG's done well with an awesome battle system, it doesn't matter what kind of, technically what kind of RPG it is. You know, if it's good, it's good. And, you know, this one is okay. I played it for a little while. It's not great, but it's a Mega Man RPG, and it's a Mega Man Command Mission. This is a turn-based Mega Man X RPG, and it's cheap. It's a cheap game. It's all right. It says on the back, it says that there was a free playing card inside. I did not get no free playing card, but the game's okay. Yeah, I guess it's complete. It's got its manual and everything, and it's cheap. This is like a $10, maybe $15 game. If you see it, it's okay. It's an RPG. It's okay. Not great, but it is on the PlayStation 2, and it is Mega Man X themed, and good enough for me. Okay, I got this next game. I'm moving on to the GameCube now, and that's another system. I normally don't buy a lot of GameCube games. That has a, you know, I don't think it has the largest library to begin with, but it never, not a lot of games came out on the GameCube that I want to play. I'll put it to you that way. But this is one, and it's funny because I mentioned the GameCube because this game also came out on the GameCube. Skies of Arcadia Legends. Said this is kind of like a remake of the original Skies of Arcadia. I played the original on the GameCube on a burnt disc. I think I still have that burnt disc. I never found the original. I mean, I have, but I found it for like $100. I ain't paying $100 for that game. Like, that's crazy. But I found this. I got this. This one cost me, but it wasn't too bad. I think I paid. It was a good bit. It wasn't cheap. It was like 65 or 70 bucks I paid for this. And that's like me big spending on a game right there. That's, yeah, I normally don't do that, but you know, I knew this was a game that I really want to play, and I played it for a while the day I got it, and I will finish it. And you know, the graphics, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with the shitty graphics, but the gameplay. We play these games, guys, because of the gameplay. You know, some of the most valuable pictures on this earth are pictures of just the guy splash paint on a canvas. And it's heralded as some of the best shit. You know, that's not technically the most impressive, you know, graphically or, you know, visually or whatever you want to say. And that's how a lot of these older games are. But, you know, I got into the story right away on this. So, yeah, Skies of Arcadia. And this is actually a game that a lot of the retro game stores in my area, almost every one of them have copies of this. So I don't know why it's so fucking expensive. That's crazy. But, yeah, Skies of Arcadia on the GameCube. Now, this next game I own, on a few, this was released on quite a few systems, believe it or not. I have this on the GameCube, I believe on the Wii. I got this on the Wii in a compilation. Or maybe it's another system. But anyway, Ikaruga, I got this for 40 bucks. $40 I paid for this. I thought it was an awesome deal. I actually, I'm anal about it. Like, I know people that are worse than me, but as far as like condition of things, like I like to keep things that I acquire in the best condition possible. It doesn't have to be in the best condition when I get it, but so I always put these like little plastic bags. I get them from one of my buddies that is a manager at a game store, and I put these little plastic bags on all my games. Especially a game like this, it's in really good condition. I feel like I got a deal on it, and it's a treasure shooter. They make some pretty visually pretty good games. The gameplay on this is okay. This has a melee system, it doesn't incorporate a lot of the melee like you would in games like Chaos Field, which also came out on the GameCube, which is kind of crazy. But you know, you can swing your little sword, or like Astabreed if you ever played that on the PC or Steam or PlayStation 4. But okay, so that's everything I got for the GameCube, and that's all the kind of like 1s and 2s I got for different systems. But I did get some other games. I got some PS4 games, and I got a Switch game. So if you want to know what I got for the Switch, I don't even own a Switch yet, but if you want to know what I got for the Switch, stick around to the end of the video. Let's see what I got on the PlayStation 4. Okay, so on the PlayStation 4, alright, here's what I got. First game. I waited to get this game, and I don't know why I waited after I figured out who ported the game over and everything, and that is Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2. It's on 2 separate discs, it's on one game, or it's in one collection. It's got all the Mega Man X games, it's got 1 through 8. It's got a bunch of extras. M2 ported it, so it has all the bells and whistles, all the things you can tweak. It's the best Mega Man collection I've ever seen. And it's on multiple platforms, so get this on whatever system you want. I just happen to have it on the PlayStation 4, and I live streamed, I think, X1 and X4. Played through it from beginning to end. Fun games. I highly recommend it. It's $30 at GameStop, brand new. There's no reason why you shouldn't have this if you're a Mega Man fan. Especially me, I'm a huge Mega Man X fan, so. Okay, next game. Now, this is a game, it's kind of not really a sequel, but one of my favorite RPGs on the DS, and one of my favorite RPGs of all time, actually, is Super Robot Taisen OG Endless Frontier. They got the DS release. There was no other versions of that game, but that's in the Robot Taisen universe, and the Robot Taisen and Robot Wars series, and the RPG mechanics that they had in that game. They remind me of Cosmic Star Heroine, except for the battle system. The battle system kind of reminds me of Valkyrie Profile. So, anyway, so that's a great RPG. This game here has characters from that game. It's a different battle system, not as good, but it's got Haken Browning and Ashen. And for any of you that have played the Robot Taisen OG Endless Frontier game, you know that like Cosmos from Xenosaga is in that game. So they kind of mash up different series, and there's characters. They're just characters for Robot Taisen on the DS. And this game that I really like and I'm a huge fan of, I got this from Video Games New York when I was at MagFest just a couple of weeks ago. So this was actually sold out on PlayAsia's website, and I was really bummed out. I didn't want to pay that reseller price on eBay, so I found this down there. It was $50. If you're a fan of that Robot Taisen game on the DS, I highly recommend getting this. If not, this is a strategy RPG, so you might not be into that. But anyway, Super Robot Wars OG Moondwellers on the PlayStation 4. Okay, so next game. I'm actually going to do a review of this game. It's probably going to be my next video. Just because it got the PS4 release, I just want to compare differences between it and its previous release, and that is Fast Striker on the PlayStation 4. Get this at PlayAsia. It's like $35. It's a decent shooter, but I will get more in detail about this game later. But yeah, it's a collector's edition, like soundtrack. I'm not sure if there's a manual in here or not. I forget, but it's like $35 from PlayAsia, and it's a limited release, so it's got the number on the back, but. If you want it, pick it up. It's $35, still in stock. This shooter is, I'm probably going to review this one too. Not a huge fan of it. I want to find reasons to like it more. But Shiki Hondo's Soul Eater. It's pretty cool that it got a PS4 release, but again, it's limited. I don't know how many copies they made, but my copy is 220. I think they made maybe a couple thousand of them. It's still on their website. I bought this months ago, so if you want it, it's still on their website right now. I doubt it's going to be later. All these games will probably sell out eventually, because people like shooters. People like me like shooters. Okay, so this is probably the best PS4 shooter I've played. It's a port of a game that came out on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. It actually had a port on the DS over in Japan. That copy goes for a little bit of money. But it's the Ketsu port on the PS4. This one's Ketsu Detoni, I believe that's how it's pronounced. M2 ported this game. It's part of the M2 Shot Trigger series. As you guys well know, I talk about them all the time on my channel. They do excellent ports. Dang and Fevrin on the PlayStation Network. Download that game if you have $35 to spend. Hopefully we get a physical release on that. But this is a great game, you guys. You should. It's kind of pricey. I did believe it came with an art book. But it's one of the best shooters I've played on the PlayStation 4. An awesome port, and M2 did an excellent job bringing this game over. So yeah, pick this up, play Asia. Okay, so what Switch game did I get? What Switch game did I pick up? Ready? This is weird. There's like 2 of these, and I bought the second one because there was more games that I didn't own physically on this cartridge. With the Psycho Collection Volume 2. So this one has Tengai, Dragon Blaze, Strikers 1945, and Gumbird 2 all in one cartridge. Now there is a Volume 1 with other games on it. I do believe I own all those games physically, but I do not own Tengai, and I do not own Dragon Blaze. Now for those of you that don't know, Dragon Blaze on the PlayStation 2, it might have been a PAL exclusive, but that game, it's kind of in a package where it's paired with another game, but that goes for like maybe like $170-ish. So it's really expensive. This is $35. If you're shoot 'em up fans and you own a Switch, I don't even own a Switch. I bought this so when I get a Switch, I can have this because I knew that I would want this, and it's only 35 bucks. So if you're gonna place an order with PlayAsia anyway, you might as well throw this in there, and because you're paying for shipping anyway, it's 35 bucks. There's a Volume 1 and a Volume 2. I advise you to probably buy both. I had all the physicals on the first volume, so I just figured I'd pick this up. I wish stuff like this got released on PlayStation 4, but it just so happened to come out on the Switch, so I had to grab it. And it's got Strikers 1945 2 on here. Now I do own that physically. Strikers 1945 2 came out on the PlayStation 1 and Strikers 1945, so they always do that with like the Final Fantasies and like many games over in Japan. They just keep everything the same. I'll play so many imports, I get confused when they start changing stuff. But anyway, I picked this up on the Switch. Hopefully I'll get a Switch. I mean, my kid has a Switch, I could use his, but hopefully I'll get my own. Maybe they'll do a hardware revision and reduce the price. But until then, this will stay sealed. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I am trying to get my channel to grow just a little bit. So if you finished this video from beginning to end and you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I feel like I produce some pretty decent content. If you like shooters, arcade style games, or awesome RPGs with like killer battle systems, maybe you should watch my channel. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, peace out.